Have you ever considered how respect and trust can shape the very foundation of a community? These pillars, along with self-care, play an integral role in fostering harmony and growth. Respect builds an environment where everyone feels valued. Self-care ensures we're at our best, ready to lend a helping hand when needed. And trust? It's the glue that binds us all together. Imagine a world where everyone respects each other, takes care of themselves, and trusts one another. What a community that would be. Once upon a time in a little town named Harmonyville was not always harmonious. In fact, it was quite the opposite. The townsfolk, once a tight-knit community, had slowly grown apart. Differences in opinion, lifestyle, and beliefs had led to division. And the once vibrant town was reduced to a collection of individuals living side by side, each in their own bubble. The spirit of community was missing, and with it, respect and trust. People were so focused on their own needs that they overlooked the importance of helping others. They were less available when their neighbors needed them, and this lack of mutual support further deepened the divide. But one day, a wise old soul named Elder John decided to take a stand. He knew that a divided community could not thrive. So, he started a conversation. He talked about the importance of respect, of understanding and appreciating the diversity within their community. He spoke of the need to step out of their comfort zones, to listen to others, and to respect their perspectives. And then he talked about self-care. Not just the physical kind, but also emotional and mental self-care. The importance of being kind to oneself, of taking time to relax, rejuvenate, and reflect. He explained how self-care makes us more available to help others in their time of need. And finally, Elder John talked about trust. He explained that trust is the foundation of any strong community. Trust allows us to rely on each other, to work together towards common goals, and to build stronger, more meaningful relationships. As he spoke, the townsfolk listened. They started to understand. They started to change. They started to respect each other, to take care of themselves, and to trust one another. And slowly but surely, Harmonyville began to live up to its name. The transformation was not immediate, but it was profound. The town grew stronger, more vibrant, and more harmonious. The townsfolk started to work together to support one another and to build a better, stronger Harmonyville. And so, Harmonyville transformed, illustrating the power of respect, self-care, and trust. So, what does respect truly mean in a community context? When we think about respect, we often think about politeness, courtesy, and good manners. And while these are certainly elements of respect, in a community context, respect goes much deeper. It's about recognizing and appreciating the inherent worth and dignity of every individual in the community. Let's take a look at our Harmonyville story for a moment. When the residents began to truly respect each other, they started to see each other not as competitors or adversaries, but as partners and collaborators. They began to listen to each other's ideas, to value each other's contributions, and to support each other's efforts. They stopped focusing on differences and started celebrating the diversity that made their community unique and vibrant. Respect in a community context also fosters a sense of belonging. When we feel respected, we feel seen, heard, and valued. We feel like we matter, like we're part of something greater than ourselves. And this sense of belonging is a powerful motivator. It encourages us to participate, to contribute, to engage. It makes us more willing to give of ourselves, to put our time, energy, and resources into making the community a better place. Furthermore, respect creates a positive environment. When respect is the norm, conflict and disagreements are less likely to escalate into hostility or violence. Instead, they become opportunities for dialogue, for understanding, for growth. Even when opinions clash, the underlying respect for the person behind the opinion keeps the conversation civil and productive. And let's not forget, respect is reciprocal. The more we respect others, the more respect we receive in return. This reciprocal respect builds trust, fosters cooperation, and strengthens the bonds that hold the community together. Respect, as we see, is not just about courtesy, it's a cornerstone for community building. It's about recognizing and valuing each other's worth, fostering a sense of belonging, creating a positive environment, and building strong, trusting relationships. It's about creating a community where everyone feels valued, everyone feels heard, and everyone feels like they belong. Now, let's turn our attention to self-care. What role does it play in a community? Well, folks, imagine your community as a beautiful, intricate tapestry. Each thread represents a member and their unique contributions. But what happens if one thread begins to fray? The entire tapestry's strength is compromised. That thread, my friends, is you. And the fraying? That's what happens when self-care takes a back seat. Self-care isn't about indulging in luxury or shirking responsibilities. Rather, it's about ensuring that your thread, your contribution to the community, remains strong and vibrant. It's about maintaining mental and physical health, which in turn fortifies the entire community. Let's revisit Harmonyville, our community from earlier. Remember John, the tireless volunteer who was always ready to lend a hand? He was an invaluable thread in Harmonyville's tapestry. But over time, John neglected his self-care. His energy flagged, his mood darkened, and he was less able to assist his community. The tapestry of Harmonyville felt the strain, but when John began to prioritize self-care, taking time to rest, eat well, and engage in activities he loved, he emerged rejuvenated. His thread regained its strength, and the tapestry of Harmonyville flourished once more. See, self-care isn't just about us as individuals. It's about recognizing that our well-being influences the well-being of our community. It's about understanding that when we are at our best, we are better able to contribute to the collective good. A community thrives when its members are healthy, happy, and engaged. It's a symbiotic relationship. We nourish our community, and in turn, our community nourishes us. But this nourishment starts with self-care. So take that walk in the park, read that book you've been meaning to get to, cook that meal you love. Because when you take care of yourself, you're not just strengthening your thread, you're reinforcing the entire tapestry. In essence, self-care isn't selfish, it's a vital component of community strength. Last but certainly not least, let's explore the role of trust in a community. Trust is more than just a 5-letter word. It's the backbone of a thriving community, the invisible thread that weaves individuals together into a cohesive whole. Without trust, a community is nothing more than a collection of strangers, each looking out for their own interests. But with trust, that same group of strangers can come together, work towards common goals, and create something far greater than the sum of its parts. Let's take a trip back to Harmonyville. What made this town so harmonious wasn't just their respect for one another or their emphasis on self-care. No, it was their trust in each other. Neighbors trusted each other to keep the streets clean, to look after each other's children, to lend a helping hand in times of need. This trust was the foundation upon which Harmonyville was built. Trust enhances cooperation within a community. It creates an environment where people feel safe to share their ideas, to voice their concerns, to contribute their talents. It fosters a sense of unity, a feeling of belonging. It encourages people to step outside their comfort zones, to take risks, to innovate, because they know that even if they fail, their community will be there to support them, to lift them back up. Transparency, too, is a byproduct of trust. When people trust each other, they are more likely to be open and honest. They feel comfortable sharing not just their successes, but also their struggles. This openness creates a culture of authenticity, where people are valued for who they are, not for who they pretend to be. In the end, trust is more than just believing in someone. It's about believing in the power of community. It's about understanding that we are stronger together than we are apart. It's about recognizing that when we trust each other, we are not just building a community, we are building a better world. Trust, therefore, is the glue that holds a community together. So, what have we learned today about respect, self-care, and trust in community building? We kicked off our journey exploring the power of questions, which reminded us of the importance of curiosity and open dialogue in fostering respect among community members. It's through these exchanges that we begin to understand each other's unique perspectives and experiences. And it is that understanding that lays the foundation for mutual respect. We then delved into the story of Harmonyville, a parable that vividly illustrated how respect can transform an environment. In a community where everyone's voice is valued, where differences are celebrated rather than suppressed, we create an atmosphere of acceptance and mutual respect. Next, we unpacked the concept of respect itself, highlighting its vital role as the cornerstone of every thriving community. Respect isn't just about how we treat others, it's about recognizing their inherent worth and dignity. We also emphasize the importance of self-care because, let's face it, we can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of ourselves, we ensure we're at our best when we're needed by others. Remember, self-care is not selfish, it's self-preservation. And finally, we explored the trust factor, the glue that binds a community together. Trust is not given, it's earned. It's built over time through consistent actions that demonstrate reliability and integrity. As we step forward into the future, remember, respect cultivates harmony, self-care promotes health, and trust fosters unity. Together, they create a community we can all be proud of.